Hello everyone, welcome to the third session on Oracle Fusion Accounting Hub. Before beginning the today's session, we'll first recall the things we have done covered yesterday. So we have seen how we analyze the source system and what are all are the event class, event types in the source system and how we configure them through our implementation sheet. We have also seen the sources and the accounting attributes which are created, the transactions object that are created once the template is uploaded. So then we have seen the source system which was configured in the Oracle instance. Before that, we have provided the required rules to our user, and I have told you what is the importance of the duty roles which were provided and what all access will be provided after giving those roles. Always remember to run the LDAP job when you provide any role to the user. However, in the production environment or the environment which is already gone live, the process is automated and process is automated, so this LDAP keeps on running over a specific time frame, like once in a day or twice in a day. So the LDAP runs like that. Even that, if required, you can run it manually. So beginning with our PPT. So the Oracle Accounting Hub provides the flexibility and control that you need in the implementation, expansion, and maintenance of subledgers. So we configure the user-defined subledgers to adopt the in a flexible environment. We configure the account rules to meet our corporate and statutory requirements. Automate to control the process from transforming source system data to recording of detailed and auditable journal entries. However, in our webinar, we will be seeing how manually journal entries can be uploaded. The transactions can be uploaded and the system will then generate the journal entries. And then we can use the modern reporting tools which are available in Oracle Cloud to reconcile accounted journal entries. This can lessen the accumulative work required at the end of the accounting period. You can also gain insightful information from your day-to-day business, corporate performance, and to make business decisions. So, seeing the today's agenda before proceeding. So, today we will be seeing the building blocks of the accounting transformation, the main important task which will help us to create our own accounting rules. So, firstly, we will seeing the building blocks, all the elements of the accounting transformation. After that, we will be moving towards our core configurations. So there are few of the core configurations. So I will be covering 4 today and remaining in the next session. So the first will be mapping sets, then the user defined formulas and the use of conditions, and we'll define the account rule and the journal line rules. When the general line rules are created, we can combine them in the general line entry rule sets. So we will be seeing that thing tomorrow. So, beginning with today's session, so these are the building blocks of the accounting transformation. If you see in the slide, which will give you all the steps overview involved and the configurations required for setting up the accounting transformation for the subledger application. So here you can see, uh, if we move from downwards, these are the required configuration before we create the general entry rule set. So here two are the mandatory one, the general line rules and the account rules. Apart from these two, you can have the description rule, which will provide you the description of your general entry. Then the supporting reference, which will provide you the details or the information related to the general entry, which is not part of your main general entry, but just the informative one. Then we can link these conditions to general line rules, account rules, and we can have the mapping sets. Again, the conditions can be linked to your description rules and all, and the custom formulas. So the custom formulas are the user defined formulas, which we will define according to the requirement for the description rule or the account rule. And if you see the conditions, they work based on the priorities. When we will be talking about them in detail, we will be covering that. Accounting transformation refers to the process of converting your transactions or activities from the source system into journal entries. And if you see, all these are then mapped into one general entry rule set, and then these general entry rule set based on our event types are created and mapped with our accounting method. Then using the specify ledger option, we assign this accounting method to our primary or the secondary ledgers. As we are aware that the Oracle gives us few of the seeded accounting method, and there is also an option to create our own method, or we can just duplicate the seeded accounting method and add our uh, own elements in there. So here we'll going to do the same. We'll use the seeded one, and then we'll enable this general entry rule set or the SLA application in that rule, in that method. To create it, we require the account rules and the general line rules mapped in the general entry rule set, which is then assigned to the accounting method. So yeah, as we have already discussed the slide, you can see mapping sets, user defined formula, description rules, supporting reference. This is not necessary, the one in green, but they help in better creation of our general entry rule sets. The conditions are defined in account rules and description rules and all to help the create accounting process evaluate those conditions and based on the priorities of the rule detail. Means when the condition is met, that rule is applied. So now we will move to our core configurations. So firstly, we will be seeing what is mapping sets. Mapping set is um a very useful or simple and useful tool, as this will help you to correlate your external or the source system with the Oracle application. Mapping sets provide an effective way to define a segment or account combination value for one or more transactions or reference attribute values. Using such input and output mapping, is simpler than using the complex conditions on account rules. Based on the value of your source input, a single segment or a full account is derived. For example, if you look in the slide, the product description from the source system is mapped with the department segment of our chart of account. Say if in our Oracle chart of account there is a department segment and there is no product segment, and the products like hosting, services, equipment rental, computer supplies, these are defined as department, or they correspond to the respective departments like 221, 210, 233, 231. So how will my system understand? How will Oracle's understand which product or which value are you referring to? So this mapping will help the Oracle system to understand that if you enter in product description data as hosting, it has to pick the department segment value 221. In the same way, if you enter service as data, it will pick up the uh, uh, department segment 210. And for equipment rental, it will identify it as 233 department segment, and for computer supplies it will pick your value as 231. This will help you to create the best suited or best significant accounting combination. So before creating our own mapping set in the instance, we will see the mapping sets that are already created and then we will proceed. So one thing we should always keep in mind, in if the account rule is already assigned to a general entry rule set and if the accounting method is active, then run create accounting to verify if the mapping set is working as expected. There is no need to activate the accounting method again after modifying or adding any mapping. So this means whenever you do any changes, then you have to activate your method in the account method screen. But if you are just updating or modifying your mapping sets, there is no need to do anything. Just run a create accounting process once and check uh, if your mapping is correctly working or not. Now let's move into the instance to see how the mapping sets are created and how to create them. So this is our Oracle homepage. From here, we will select the setup and maintenance from the settings and actions tab. We'll select the setup as the Fusion Accounting Hub. Then we'll go into the accounting transformation. This is the functional area where we will be doing all the configurations. We have seen create subledger application setups and spreadsheet uh, task where we have downloaded the template and then uploaded the template of the source system. So if I change in scope here and select and add plan go to task, AHC loan. This is the one which is already configured in the system. So we will see this first and then we will create our own. So there are two ways of doing this I have already told yesterday. For configuring the accounting rules in one go, we can select this task, configure accounting rule. And here you will be able to see all the required tasks in one go, like mapping sets, account rules, general line rules, description rules, user defined formula, and supporting reference. So if I want to see mapping sets, I'll just click on mapping sets. So you can see these are the mapping sets which are created for this application. Okay, now if I click on this AHC product, so you can see AHC product segment, sorry, AHC product mapping set has been created, and the description says that this maps product segment by loan type. So means when you will be entering the loan type in your system, when you will be entering loan type in your system, the what value in the product segment has to be picked by the system will be identified. So see, here we have taken the description, we have provided the description. This provides the more clarity, and and this is the input source, the loan type. You can see this once you have added this, this cannot be changed. And see, in your chart of account, that is the US chart of accounts, we are providing the value for the segment product. So your loan type will be mapped with your product values, and your product is a segment in your chart of account. So if you will see here, these are the value. These value if you input, then output system will take as these. This means, like if you enter this x trick, this is the default value. Means if in the data you have entered a x trick mark, the system will pick up 170 account, 171, I'll select 171 account. What account it is? If you come here in the, see, this is the value in your chart of accounts. Or if I just not enter anything, okay, one is required. Okay, so 171, or I enter 111 search. So this is the financials value. This is the chart of account value set values that we assign. So in the product segment, this is the value assigned, 111, to the financials. So when you will not select anything, means you will provide asterisk in the data when you will be providing the loan type value, then the system will automatically take the product segment value as 171. Same way, if I select ARM, it will take 111, which is financials. Okay, FRM, then it will take 111. Then project, so it will take 121. 121 as your projects here. And term, so in term it will take 239. These, just a second, 239. 239 is miscellaneous. Just to understand what are these code, ARM, FRM, Proj, and term. So these are the loan type which will be available in your source system. See, in your source system, there will be a field called as loan type, and you can have four types of loan. So ARM, FRM, PROJ, or TERM. These can be the codes to identify what type of loan it is. And apart from that, if we enter asterisk for any other loan type, then default value 171 will be picked. So this way we create the mapping. Okay. Yeah, and this data should be entered as it is, means ARM without any space, before and after, and in capital letter. In your data also, it should be entered likewise. Even if you are entering the data, you have to pick the same values. If the values differ, then this mapping will not work. So I'll just click on save and close here. Okay, likewise, few other mapping sets are created. We will create one for our application which we had loaded yesterday. So I will not be using this configure accounting rules, so that I can give you the idea of these tasks also. So manage mapping sets is the task. I'll click on scope here, and I will change this to FAH loan and apply and go to task. Okay, here you can see no mapping sets have been created. So I will click on plus icon. I will take in here as AHC account non-cash, and here AHC account non-cash. You can see in the short name they are saying enter a unique combination of uppercase letters, digits and underscore with no space. After saving, the short name cannot be updated. Here you can give the description. So description we can write as mapping, map, loan and line type with the natural account segment. Okay. Okay, if you can, okay, this is not unique. This is already used. So we will just add 01. In the name also, I will add u 01 for the uniqueness. Then I'll click on plus icon here to provide the input in source. So if you can see here, we have the list of subledger application minus FAH loan. Click on search. You will see all the values in the in the header in the transaction information and line information that we had uploaded in that sheet will be available here. Mm. So from here we need the line type. Click on apply. Line type has come here. Now we will select the loan type. Loan type, apply, and then click on OK. So what I am doing here is I'm taking two values as the input source, the line type and the loan type, and I will be mapping this to the corresponding natural account in our chart of account segment. One more thing I would like to tell you here, if you can see the output type, here you can have the whole account combination, the value set or the segment. Means at the level of value set also you can apply the mapping sets, and this will be this can be a value set which is used in different chart of accounts also. Here I am taking segment. I missed this. So yeah, I'm selecting segment here. If you will provide account combination, the whole account combination can be determined from here. Now, if you can see, there are two options like here, value set and lookup type. These are the areas where you can use them for the validation purpose. Okay, this is AHC line type and the loan type. So I will select this. Okay, do you want to continue using value set? Okay, so we can have these here. Select loan type. Sorry, actually this should be FAH because I am creating for FAH. My mistake. Just a second. FAH, because we are creating this for FAH loan. Okay, now we will again select the values segment. Click on input. This is FAH loan. I want to have the line type. Okay. Then the loan type. Okay. Okay. So these have been added. Now value set you can have is FAH. This is the way of validating your data. From here you can select the value, and it is not mandatory. Even if you don't provide any value, this will be working fine. Okay, I am. Let us just skip this part and then click on plus icon to specify our chart of accounts. So here you have to select your chart of account. I am selecting the same US chart of accounts, taking the segment as account because we want the values of your accounting segment. Now line type. So here I will enter accrued interest. Okay. And loan type can be any. So I'm selecting extra mark, and here the account 13100. Okay, so this is interest receivable account. If you know the value, you can search just like that, or if you know the description, then you can enter the description and you can find the value here. Then you will again click on add, then charge. So if you have any charges, just enter as charge, and in the line type, and loan type can be any value, and here account will be 47,000. This is miscellaneous revenue. Then fee, fee again you can have any value in the loan type. Here 24. So we can see the values here. So 24,500 is the unearned revenue account. I will select this one because this fee will be an unearned revenue which will be recognized over the period of time based on your term of loan. Then if the line type has loan as the value, oh sorry, let me enter it in capital only so that there is no confusion while entering the data. And your loan type is nothing, anything apart from project. So in the loan, any other type apart from project, the value will be selected as 13601. This is your loan receivables. And if your loan type is project, then you will have to have PROJ here, and you can s- uh, select the account. So this is project loan receivables. So this way, in your line type, you can have both the values as loan, but if it is project, the account value will be picked will be 13601, sorry 602, and anything other than project in the loan type in your data, it will pick as 13601. So this is how mapping sets are created. We'll click on save and close here. So you can create a number of mapping sets here. This is the easiest way to provide the values and map them in your general entry rule set. Uh, and you can have the account rule where you can specify your mapping set too. Means this mapping set can be used to create your account rule too. I'll click on done. Now moving back to our PPT. So this we have seen. Now what are the user defined formulas? User defined formulas can be calculated using a numeric value a user defined formula can be used to calculate a numeric value, derive an alphanumeric value or return a date value. So for three types of things it can be used: for numeric value, the alphanumeric value, or the date value. There are user defined formulas that can be used to create a complex derivation logic. So means when you have created one of the user defined formula, you can use it in another formulas to create more complex formulas. Define user defined formulas using sources for a selected event class. Predefined functions and conditions can also be used to derive the resulting values. The source information is entered in double quotes, the constant values is entered in single quotes, and the date value is added in the format of YYYYMONDD. So the steps will be, we will be defining the formula, then this formula we can use in your account rule, mapping sets and the description rules, and then we assign them to the general entry rule set. Before moving into the application, we will talk about the conditions also. So the condition is created using the first priority rule. This rule is only used if the condition is met. Condition helps in redefining the details needed as a result of the general generated from the accounting method during create accounting process. What does the create accounting process does? It will evaluate those conditions. And once it has evaluated those conditions based on the priority of the rule, when the condition is met, that rule detail is applied. We will see how the rules are applied in the creation of account rule when we will create the account rule. So the formulas can be used in any of the following accounting rule components, like the general line rules, account rules, mapping sets, description rules, or the supporting references. How we will be using these formulas and how they are created, we will first see in a created application, and then we will create our own user defined formulas. So let's move to the application again. Okay, so if I see here in the configure accounting rule, we are again on our same work area, the Fusion Accounting Hub. In the configure accounting rule, so I want to select the AHC loan first. In the ASC loan, we can see the user defined formulas from here, or we can use the configure accounting rules also. So here you can see the created formulas. These are the one which are already created. To create a new one, you can click on this create icon. To know more about the user defined formula, you can just click on the help section here, and there are various tasks which are associated. See, if I click on add icon, we'll have to give the name, the short name. The description is not mandatory, it's optional. You can provide or not provide. Here you want to provide the data type. So as I told you, we can have the numeric value, the alphanumeric value, and the date as the data type. Means as a result, means when this formula will be applied, what output we will get. It can be in a form of alphanumeric, date, or the number. And here you have to select your event class. So, and after that, if you can see these values are not provided, this expression portion is faded. So we have to provide the details, and then this will be activated. So I will be going to create, so I'll not create in here. Okay, yes. Let's see a simple formula, which is the years in description here. So you can see the formula name is years in description, means this year will be used in your description rule. So the data type is alphanumeric. Okay, so this will be returning you a value which will be alphanumeric. So if you can see, this is the expression added, means they have added an if then else formula. Okay, the if then else function they have added. These are the predefined functions. So if the term is what? Now the term is coming from your source. If you can see, I'll just control. The term is in double quotes. Double quotes specify the value from your source system. And if you want to have constant, which is this year and years, then this is in the single quotes. So if term means if the term of loan which you have entered is 1, then system will take year, and else it will take years. If you want to see what all functions are defined, you can click on insert function, select type here. So I click on alphanumeric. Now I'll click on simply search. So in the alphanumeric type, there are three predefined formulas which are concatenate. This concatenate function is used to join the two strings. Like if I want to join the customer name and the invoice number, then I can use this formula. And the substring is to extract a part of the string, and to text is to convert source into your text format. If I select the another tab, which is another type, which is conditional, then I can see this if then else. So this will be a conditional function which is used in your formula. And is positive integer, means if something like term is a positive integer, if I put this function, then it will return you true if the source value is positive integer. Likewise, you have formula for numeric. It's a long list. For round up, you can use round up, round down, round. Okay, then power is a formula, sorry, function, and the number of GL period. This will return you the number of non-adjustment accounting periods between two dates. Okay, so this way the description has also been mentioned. We can use these formulas based on the descriptions provided. Okay, then the date type, if I select, so what all functions are there? Add month, first day of the month, first day of the year. So this will return you the first day of the calendar year corresponding to a date, the last day of the month, the last day of the year. So these are some predefined functions which we can use in the expression to create our function. If you want to enter the source information, you can use this source option. Here you can select, you can just click on search. It will provide you all the options. Okay, so some source type, if you see, is application. Some will be standard. Yeah, some will be standard and some can be formula. The created formula means three types of source information you can have. The application. Okay, application is this is within the SLA applications. Okay, and standard is the one that we have entered in our that spreadsheet, and formula are the predefined formula which are created. So this way we can select the data from the source. And if you can see this operators are there: plus, minus, multiply, divide, and in the more option you have equal to, non, not equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, has no value means this is null, and has a value that means is this is not null. Say if a contract number, we need to add a condition using the contract number. So we can say contract number has no value or is null, then we can have some details over there, and then we can say a contract number has a value, then we can have the formula relating to that portion. And or are the conditional one means this and this both should satisfy, and in or any of the one condition should specify. Once you have provided your expression, just click on validate to see no errors are there and no issue is there while applying this formula, and just click on save and close. We will be creating loan line type and a loan free prorate by days uh, in our application, which is the FAH application. And now I will be using that configure accounting rule option so that we can see how that works. FAH loan, apply and go to task, save and close. So this is the task, configure accounting rule, or you can click on manage user defined formula task also. In the user defined formula, we click on add. You can see no formulas are added in here because no formulas are created. Now I will click on create. I will give the name as loan line type. Here short name system will pick automatically. This is a simple formula which we are creating to concatenate the line type with a line type expression with the line type value. Okay, so this will be alphanumeric and event class will be FAH loan. Now you can see the status is inactive as this is not complete, and when I entered all these details, this tab is activated. So I will insert the function, insert the function type alphanumeric search concatenate. Okay, so here it is asking two values from your system, the string 1 and the string 2. So in the single quotes, as I want the constant line type first, so I will enter line type in the single quote colon, and then I will put one, single quote, comma, and for string 2 I will give the value from our source system. So I will click on source here. Source application will be FAH loan. Click on search. So these are the standard value or the source value that we have entered from our template. Here we need to have the line type. Okay, click on OK. So you can see this is coming in your double quotes. Now click on validate. Validate is complete. If any error might be there here, like if one more bracket is added. Now if you click on validate, this will give you an error. So you need to rectify that and then validate again. So validation is completed. Now before saving, or I'll just click on save, I'll create one more, which is a bit complex one. So this is loan fee prorate by days. Loan fee. As I told you, the loan fee will be prorated or divided based on the number of days of that loan. Prorate by days. Short name system will take automatically. Now, if I come to data type, I'll have here the value as number because this will be returning you amount. Now in the expression, we will be, okay, even class I haven't selected. As you will select this, this portion will be activated. Click on brackets. Now I will select the default amount from the source. Default amount, click on OK. So this is to be picked from your FAH loan system, this value. So this is picking from your source system. Then click on divide. I will just tell you the value of this. Just means how this will work. Now I will take the payoff date. So payoff date is also available in your source system. Payoff date, this detail will be entered by us or the user. So payoff date. Payoff date minus the origination date. Sorry, again from the source we will take this value. So this will be the dates on which our loan is active. Payoff date minus the loan origination date plus 1. This is the formula for calculating our days. Okay. We can have space here. So this is the amount of your fee, the default amount, which is the fee, and then we have divided it to the in the total number of days, and then we will multiply for multiply. I'll take here this, and then I will take the last day of your current accounting period. So last day and minus the origination date. I'll just and make you understand what formula is this. Just give me a second. First we'll create it. So last day of the current accounting period, this you can get from the application. So in the application, I don't want to have anything in here. Click on search, or and you search it down. I think I have missed it. Okay, yeah, here it is. Last day of your current accounting period. Okay, click here. Okay. Then click on minus. Click my minus. Okay. Oh, sorry. Minus. And then origination date. So origination date again, I will have to pick from the source. Origination date will be coming from our source, which is FAH. Close this. Then plus 1 and close this bracket. So we'll validate the formula loan fee. Any bracket is extra, let's check. So this one is for this one is for this. None of the bracket is not required. Okay, one bracket was not applied. Okay, here. Okay, so you have to check the brackets also. So now what is the formula? The formula says the default amount of the fee. So when you will be entering the data in the fee value, you will be providing some amount. So that will be your default amount. We have divided that whole amount with the period of your loan. Payoff date minus origination date plus 1. This will give you the number of days that loan will be there. Okay, and then we have multiplied it to our current periods. What portion uh, will be prorated for our current period? Means if 100 rupees, see, if $100 is there, just let me open one notepad. So if say 100 pound, $100 is taken as the loan fee, and it will last for 3 years. So this will be your term of loan. So this will be calculated with this formula: payoff date minus the origination date plus 1. And then so this 100 will be divided by 3, and then this will be multiplied with your last day of current accounting period minus the origination date. So this will be the portion of loan fee which is not related to this period. Okay, means if I say the last day of the current origination date, means means say I have taken loan 1 year before. So last day of this month will be Feb. So from Feb, last day of this month means 28th February till your origination date, that period will be removed as it is showing the minus sign. So this period will be excluded and the amount will be calculated by using this formula. Hope you have got the clarity. This formula we will be using in our account rule when we will be creating the account rule, and then I think you will get a better clarity, because this I think will be your unearned revenue. So when I'll click on save, you can see the status will change to active again. Click on save and close. So these were our formulas. Now if I want to see any condition, let me go to AHC loan again. The subledger application AHC loan. We will be seeing the condition part also while creating the account rule. So in the account rule only, I will show you how conditions are applied in one of the created application. So say if I open cash clearing account, I guess, yeah. So this AHC, we will also be configuring this account. So if I open this, okay, there is no conditions in here. Let me check any other account. Okay, so here no, in the account rule they have not used the um, conditions. They might have used it in the general line rules. Yeah, see here. Okay, so this is AHC legal entities for loan, means which legal entity will be selected. So this rule they have created for the company segment. Okay, so they have taken the constant value 101 if your bank is AHC Bank US. Okay, this means that see here is the priority. This is priority. So priority will be 1 if this condition is satisfied, and if this condition is not satisfied, priority 2 rule will be applied. Okay, you can specify the condition in here, or if not, then like if I had a third value also, then in the third priority I need not have any condition, I can just have the value. So say if my bank is US, it will pick 101. If my bank is from UK, it will pick 303. And if say my bank was in India, it could be picking the third constant if any present in there. So here I can select constant, and here I can give the company segment value for our third segment. See if I say the bank is from Canada, so I can give 151. And for UK and US, first two will be picked up based on the condition. And in the rule 3, if no condition is there for that, all the others banks, it will automatically pick the company segment value as 151. So this is the basic idea about the condition, how we can use the condition. Okay, so moving to the account rules, we'll see the account rules, and then there we can see the condition to be applied. We will create this rule only so that we can see how condition is applied, and one more rule we'll create. So moving to the PPT again, this part we have covered. Account rule. So account rule provides you to understand which account to be picked for which event type. For which event type, which account rule we should pick, this system will identify through this account rules. Account rules are determined. Account rules are used to determine the accounts for the subledger's journal entries. In addition, you can specify the conditions under which these rules should apply. You can define account rules for account segment or the value sets. Value type can be constant, account rule, source, mapping sets, or any user defined formula. The conditions can help you redefine the details needed on the results of the general entries that are generated from the accounting method during the create accounting process. Using the capability of conditions, you can develop a complex rules for defining accounts using different circumstances to meet your specific requirement. Defining account rules by account can help you determine the whole account combination. Like an account rule defined by account can use to determine a complete supplier liability account in Oracle Fusion Payables, means whole combination you can provide. So anytime that account will be required, the whole combination will be picked up. Define segment rules to derive a specific segment of a general ledger account. For example, a particular segment like company segment can be determined from the distribution account. Like we have seen in an example right now, we were picking just the value of the company segment 101, 301, like that. You can use, or you can also use you can also use the combination of the account rule with the segment rules. Means you can have the account rule and segment rule. In case in this case, the segment value is derived from the segment rule to override the corresponding segment of the account. Means if you have specified an account combination which does not have that segment value, and you have a segment value created for that specific segment value, then in that case, if you will use the combination of account rule with the segment value will be derived from the segment value and it will override the value of that segment, and the other segments of that combination will remain the same as the account combination. If the segment rule has conditions associated with the priorities and none are met, no override occurs and the segment value is derived from the account rule. In the absence of chart of accounts, you may define account rules based upon the value sets. This enable you to share the same rule between one or more chart of accounts if the segments in the chart of accounts are sharing the same value set. As I have told you, you can create it for the value set. There you need not to assign any chart of account. So we have seen the account rule in the already created subledger application. So we will quickly go and create our own in the instance. I will just change the scope in here. I will select FAH loan, apply and go to task, cancel. So firstly, we will be configuring the account rule from here. I select account rule. See, no rules are created. To create a new one, we have to click on create icon. Just select AHC default account over here. Sorry, I will enter FAH or it will again give me the error. FAH default account. Okay, so here I am specifying an our default account for the loans. Means if any account is not selected for any loan, then where it will be going. Then you can see the here also the chart of accounts is not marked as mandatory, but we will be specifying the same chart of account, the US chart of account. In the rule type, you can see, as I have already told you, three types of rule type you can create: the account combination, segments, and value set. So we will see two of them, segment and the account combination. First, we are creating the one for account combination. Here I will click on create the rule. Here I will give the source information, source. See, in the value type also you can have four values: accounting rule, constant, mapping set, and the source. So these value types will be returned. I have selected the source. Here I can give the value. So this default suspense account from the subledger accounting will be the value that will be picked up if any default account is not there for the loans, then this account will be picked up as the default account. No conditions I am providing in here. Just click on save and create another to create another one. So I am creating the one which we have right now seen in AHC. I'm creating FAH legal entity. Okay. So I will specify here FAH legal entity for the loans. Okay, now I will specify the chart of account. Rule type I already told for segment which we are creating. So which segment the system will ask which segment. There are six segments in my chart of account. So for which segment am I creating this rule? So I'm creating this for company. Likewise, you can create the mapping set which we have created, right, for the product. That also we can create. Okay. I think, yeah, for product we can create in here. I think we have seen that in the AHC, the mapping set was created for product. We can, in the conditions, we can write line type is this and loan type is this. So the value type should be this. This way we can create the account rule. But account rules are more complex and mapping sets are easier way to define. So we have used the mapping sets. And now click on add icon. Here you can mention as constant. Constant is the value that is being picked up. So constant 101. Okay, this is US1. Now if I click on 2, here also I can give the constant as 303, which is your United Kingdom one, and you can have other segment values also. But say my source system is just for this US and UK businesses only, UK and US legal entities only. So only these values will be picked up. Now, if you will click on first, the rule 1 condition will appear. And if you click on rule 2 conditions will be appearing. So I'll quickly specify the rule 1 condition. If you remember, in our source, there was a value of bank. So here I will click on FAH loan, click on search. So FAH loan, this is the bank value. Click on OK. So this value is equal to, now equal to I can take from here operator equal to, and I can write the name as it is, as I want to compare this. So no codes are required. Okay, bank US. So while entering your data, you will have to specify the bank name. If that is, I'll write this is FAH. If your bank name is FAH Bank US, the constant which will be picked will be 101. Now we'll validate this. Okay. If I have just the two accounts and for one I have already created the condition, need not to create the another one. All the other where the bank account is not FAH Bank US, it will automatically go to priority 2 and it will pick 303. But if I have a specific bank account, I can provide the details in here as another condition. So here I will select again FAH loan, click on search, select the bank 01 and give the value as operator equal to OFS bank UK. Any name can be there. This is just the sample data. These will be created based on your uh, requirement. Okay, we'll just create a single, we'll just create one more account rule for the mapping set that we have created. So that was sorry, yeah, FAH, sorry, FAH, natural count by mapping. If you remember, we have just created a mapping set. I will show that too. Oh, just a second. I'll duplicate this step. So in the Fusion Accounting Hub area, in the accounting transformation, I will just change. Okay, this is perfectly fine. FAH, I will refresh this page. Accounting transformation, FAH, mapping sets. We have created one of the mapping sets. This is FAH accounting non-cash 01. So while configuring the accounting rule, I am creating a rule for this too. Okay, so the short name can be FAH natural account. Okay, you can provide the description, that is optional, and you pick the chart of account, that is the US chart of account. Then in the rule type, this is again based on the segment. Here we can see the account segment. Okay, and here we will give the value. So priority is just the one, and account rule we are mapping with the mapping set. The three types of value sets we have seen: the account rule, the one with the constant, the one with the source, and the one with mapping set. Likewise, you can have account rule and the formula. And in the mapping set, if you go in here, see, this is the one which we have created. So it is coming over here. If we would have all others also, then we would have the choice to pick the mapping set, which mapping set is required to be picked. Now click on save and close. So this way we have created three of the account rules. I'll just click on done. Now coming back to my PPT, hope you are getting a basic idea of what we are doing. So we have done the formulas, the conditions, the mapping sets, and now we are seeing the general line rules, which is the last topic of the day. So general line rules are of very much importance because they will only tell us what needs to be debited and what needs to be credited while creating the general entry. General line rules are defined within the context of the accounting event classes. The sites can be debit, credit, or gain or loss. General line rules are assigned to the general entry rule sets, and here also we can have conditions assigned to a general line rule. A general line rule can be used in the subledger general entry rule set that has the same event class. General line rule condition determines whether a general line rule and its associated account rules and description rules are used to create the subledger general entry line. If the conditions of all the general line rules assigned to the general entry rule sets are not met, the transaction is processed without the creation of any subledger general entry, and the event status is set to processed. You may set specific you may set condition to specify whether the general line rule is used to create a subledger general entry line. To create a general line rule, there are various options. Let's go in the application and check any of the created general line rule and analyze the options present in there. So again, we will move to the application. So this is the Fusion Accounting Hub. I'll just refresh this page. Accounting transformation. Manage subledger application. Select the scope as AHC loan. Apply and go to task. Cancel. Go to config accounting rule here. So we have seen the account rules, mapping sets, user defined formulas and conditions also. So I am here in general line rules. So see, these are the created general line rules. If I open any one of them, I will be opening the first one, the cash clearing ASC. Okay, so here you can see the name is provided, ASC cash clearing, then the short name ASC cash clearing. Here we specify the accounting class. Based on the accounting class, we define the general line rules. We have to associate this to a accounting class. So accounting class can be accrual, adjustment, cash on account, accounts payables, allocation, an asset, withholding tax, bills receivables, charges, and so far and so forth. So all the accounting class are mentioned here. So we can select the appropriate um, accounting class for our general line rule. Okay, this will help us to classify a general entry line. Then you have seen here we have mentioned the side as debit. This could be debit, credit, or the gain or loss. When we will be creating, I will show you all the three options available. When a payable invoice is generated, the liability account should normally be credited. The general line rule must therefore specify the side option as credit. On the another hand, when the payment is made for this payable invoice, it must be accounted with a debit to the liability account. So we can create a separate general line rule defining it as the debit line, or you can have this option of switch debit and credit. So for this cash clearing, if this account is entered with a negative amount, the reversal entry will be created with a credit line, because it's the side is debit, it will be created as credit in the reversal. Okay, now there is an option of merge matching line. So if you want to merge or summarize the subledger general entry lines within each subledger entry, you can merge these entries with a matching criteria. So we can always merge these matching lines. Okay. Then if you see here, there is a tab of condition. So here the condition is provided, means the line type is fee, or the line type is interest, or the line type is charge, or the line type is loan, or the line type is principal. Then we have to see this rule. And that means the when creating the when running the create accounting process. Sorry, sorry. When running the create accounting process, the Oracle instance will verify uh, that what condition is applied. So if you see here, this will be applied. This general line rule will be applied when your line type is either fee, interest, charge, loan, or principal. Apart from these value, if anything else is entered in the line type, this rule will not be applied. So This is the use of the condition. Then moving to the advanced option tab. In the advanced option tab, you can select the rounding class. So rounding class means the class where all the values will be rounded in the same class. Like for cache clearing, all the entries with the cache clearing rounding class will be rounded by seeing the total amount, the total figure. Then we can link the general entries, general lines, and we can, if we want to link it with another corresponding line or something, then we can do it here. We will specify the multi-period options also here. We'll specify the multiple period class here. So these are the options available in the advanced options. And the most important one from is the accounting attribute assignments. In the accounting attribute assignment, when we create a general line rule, the accounting attribute assignments are automatically established. This is established with the accounting attributes which I have referred yesterday. So just let me open that screen too. In the setup area, I'll select Fusion Accounting Hub. This is accounting transformation. And this was manage accounting attributes. Here I will, okay, this is good. AHC loan. In the manage accounting attributes, I'll click this. Sorry. So these were the accounting attributes and the information that is coming from the source. So when we select something as default, so here entered amount, default amount is selected as default. So when you will configure any accounting rule, the entered amount it will pick as default amount and default currency code. If you want to change this value, then you will have to pick it from these values, and these values will be available only if in the manage accounting attributes task you have specified those values. Entered amount, fee prorated by days, entered amount, loan fee prorated by days. So here if you have mentioned, then they will be available in here. So this is the significance of this accounting attribute assignments and this task. So the you can override this default mapping of standard sources to the accounting attributes. A list of values of the source overrides includes all sources assigned to the accounting attributes for the event class associated with the general line rule. Now we will create our own general line rule in our SLA application. So I'll click on cancel here. Yes. Move out from here. We'll select our application. I'll just refresh this. In the accounting at transformation, within the scope, we'll select the FAH loan. Apply and go to task. So we can go from configure accounting rule, or we can just have this manage general line rule and go from here. Now click on plus icon to create a new one. Our application name is FAH. FAH. So I will be creating FAH loan receivables credit account. CR. Okay, now I will mention in here FAH underscore loan CR. Okay, description we can provide or not very important. Now click on credit. Accounting class will be loan receivables. Let us search loan receivables. Then this we will enable, and I don't want to merge the matching lines, so I will select no. In the condition, I can mention here the line type. So line type, I will have this information from my source. Application is FAH loan. Search line type. Okay. So if this is equals to loan, or I will apply or condition here, or the line type again from the source. Line type, yeah, line type. Okay. Is principal. So my general line rule will only be applicable if my line type entered is loan or the line type entered is principal. Now moving to the advanced option, I will select the rounding class as loan receivable, which is already defaulted. Another option I don't want to provide an accounting attribute. You will see nothing is coming up when you click on save. So this will refresh it once. Here you can see the entered currency, the entered amount as default amount, and the entered currency code as default currency. Just click on save and close. Before creating my another rule, I will be going to the manage accounting attributes, and here I will add my formula. So here the value I want is entered amount. Means the entered amount can be this formula also. This the formula which is calculating that can be picked from the system itself. So our formula was loan fee prorated by days. Okay. So I will click on save and I will validate the assignment first. Okay. If you see, I forgot to remove this default checkbox. Validate assignment. Now it will take. Okay, the validation is complete. Click on save and close. Now go to the manage general line rules. We will create another rule. FAH loan fee we will create. FAH loan fee. FAH underscore loan. Sorry. Loan fee. It is not mandatory to give the description. The event class FAH loan side will be credit. Okay. Then accounting class will be loan fee. Then this will be no condition. Condition is not required. In the advanced option tab, I have to enable the multi-period because this will be distributed in different periods. I'll provide the multi-period class as loan fee, and in the accounting attributes, again save, refresh. Here I want the default amount to be loan fee prorated by the event. So this will be entered in here. So when this general line rule will be applied, the amount will be picked from this formula. Click on save and close. Moving back to our PPT. So we have seen how we configure the general line rule, the account rules, the formulas, sorry, how we specify the conditions, what all can be the mapping sets, and revisiting this figure once before closing today's session. So we have seen the account rules, the general line rules, mapping sets, formula, condition, description rules, supporting reference, general entry rule sets, and how we map to the accounting method, and then to our ledger. This we will see in our tomorrow's session, and we will also see how we will be downloading the template to upload the data, and hope you have liked the session, and thank you all for joining. Thank you.